This week we are learning about the parasha of Yachad Mitzrayim, the greatest Geula redemption of Kahal Israel in the history of Kahal Israel. And Torah is giving us tips of life. We want Geula, we want redemption. Torah gives us very interesting introduction. Torah says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends Moshe Rabbeinu to come to tell Kahal Israel 4 chosot, 4 cups that we drink on Pesach night, right? Vehutzeti, veyisalti, vegoalti, velokachti. I take you out, I redeem you, I save you, I take you as a nation. And all of these promises, that's the greatest contract in the world. If you imagine the greatest contract that would be signed in the world, that's the contract. I take you as a nation, you're going to become mine. And Moshe Rabbeinu comes to Kahal Israel and tells them, greatest contract in the world. And Kahal Israel, Torah tells us, they didn't accept from Moshe Rabbeinu because of shortness of breath and hard work. Torah is telling us the pressure, shortness of breath. What's shortness of breath? It's pressure of life. What does pressure of life do to a person? Greatest contract, greatest promise, and they are living in misery. You don't accept it. That's what pressure does to a person. Now, if you look carefully, the Midrash says that they didn't accept because Haya Kashe Beinehem Lifrosh Ma'avodat Kochavim. The Midrash says they didn't accept Moshe Rabbeinu because, it was hard for them to get away completely from Avodah Zarah, from idol worshipping. After all, they were in Mitzrayim, they got the culture of Mitzrayim, the idol Avodah Zarah, and there were some feelings, some attachment to Avodah Zarah still by them. And because of that, they couldn't accept Moshe Rabbeinu. It's very interesting. Torah tells us they didn't accept because of the pressure, shortness of breath, hard working. Midrash tells us that they didn't accept. You know why? Because still they were attached to Avodah Zarah. What is it? What are they doing? What's the explanation of that? See, Torah is Torah of depth of psychology. And Torah is teaching us how to deal with life. Torah is telling us they didn't accept. What was the reason? Reason was because they were attached to Avodah Zarah. But what made them to be attached to Avodah Zarah? Pressures of life. Torah itself doesn't talk about Avodah Zarah. Torah says, because tzeruvach, shortness of breath, pressure. Because Torah is telling us the real factor is the pressure. And Torah wants to teach us what does it mean to have pressure. Pressure destroys families. Pressure makes a person to do the greatest sin in Torah. Now, imagine you go home and you find an idol chas v'shalom at home. You put greatest effort, greatest money, whatever that you could to remove it. Now a person goes home and finds pressure at home. It's normal. Everything is normal. But I have a news for you. All of this small pressures gets up together and becomes great. That makes the person to do the greatest sin in Torah. Now Torah tells us what's the remedy of the pressures of life. The first and the most remedy is acceptance. Somebody doesn't accept his job the way that he is. For 15 years, he's going from one way to another way. Why? How? What? Somebody still has doubt whether he married the right wife or not. Somebody doesn't accept the way that the children are. Once he's not accepting all the time, why, when, how, what. With this type of questions, he bothers himself, he bothers the family, and he doesn't get no place. If he would accept and would be makabel what's in front of him and make the best out of it. Sometimes pressures are because of lack of communication. Two families for 20 years, they had so much pressures. They put so much pressure on the family, children, cousins, and after 20 years, they got together and they talked to each other. And through that talking, they made unbelievable statement. They said, Now that we compromised, we gave up a little bit, but it was worth it. We wish that we would have done it 20 years ago. Sometimes pressure comes because of the budget. We don't put enough money to buy things, to make things easier. Why? Because, it doesn't matter, we could manage. But don't forget, any little bit pressure adds together and makes a big thing. And sometimes pressures in the family are because of lack of communication and being sensitive. I met families, a lot of times I tell them, sometimes exchange notes. Have relaxing time together and exchange notes. What do you like the other person to do? 2, 3 homeworks, not more than that. One family wrote for the other one that, we are married for 15 years, and every Shabbat when I serve everybody, I see that you finished your meal. I'm not bothered. I don't want that. I want when I'm serving, you just wait for me. His husband, after 15 years, realizing that it was painful for his wife, but he never realized that. Now, communication and being sensitive. With these remedies, we could remove the pressure. Now, the Torah is giving us perspective in life. Pressure at home, we should look at it as if an idol. And that's the introduction to redemption of Mitzrayim. Torah tells us you want Geula, redemption at home, look at pressure of life like an idol and try to remove it from home. Through that, we're going to be soche the blessings of Torah.